Hello my friends and welcome back to another great episode of pinktoolgirl.com. This is an exciting one for me because we're changing directions a little bit with Pink Tool Girl, and we're going to be talking and focusing on how to get a French-inspired home. What does that mean? What does it take? And how can we best equip you to be able to do it in your home? So let's get started. For budget-friendly home improvement advice where we help you save more so that you can do more in your home, make sure you hit that bell and subscribe today so that you don't miss out on a single episode. So as we said in the intro, we're going to be talking about what is a French-inspired home. And to me, I kind of came up with 9 or 10 categories that can then spill out into all sorts of either large projects, like if you're going to redo your kitchen, or small projects if you're going to redo your chair in your bedroom. So let's talk about those 9 or 10 elements, and I'll start off by counting them down right now. So those 10 elements that we're going to talk about are: how do you have a natural feature in your home, whether that is brick or stone or a wood beam or anything that would be of a natural element. That's number 1. Number 2, muted colors. Now, that doesn't mean that you cannot use color. It just means that whatever color that you are, you're going to do it in more of a muted tone than a very vibrant tone that would be not a Victorian or a French-inspired. The third thing are the use of fabrics, whether that's with your drapery or whether that's on cushions, or if that is, if you're going to do, I know in our home we have the backdrop of our bed is all in tapestry. So what type of tapestry and the color of tapestry and the weight of it. The fourth thing is extravagant lighting. How, like, just the word makes me excited, but choosing to use chandeliers or something that has more of a statement, an extravagance to it, and for me that always means sparkle. A fifth thing is having a touch of gold or a hint of gold, whether that's in your ornamentation around your light fixtures, or maybe your fixtures in your bathroom, or whether that's around a frame or the different frames that you would choose in your home. A sixth thing is the use of tapestries. Now, if I was going to say traditional French-inspired, I would bring in those tapestries. We're going to be talking about a modern twist to it, and for me, I have not used a lot of tapestry, but that's not to say that you cannot put that element in your home. So the last ideas that I was talking about, number 8 would be using symbols of the French landmarks or landscapes, such as Nice, using something of the Mediterranean if you were going to go for that beach flair, or if you're going for that city flair, even using the Eiffel Tower or the Arc de Triomphe for the Champs-Élysées, the main street down Paris, or if you were going to use maybe a cafe inspired, where you would have the iron rod benches and you would have the overhang of a cafe. So you could go with a symbol like that, or you could go with a script, the writing of French. So not just words in French, but what they have, and I don't really know, I'd have to actually research this to know, like, why is their writing so cool? But when you go to a French market and you see the little handwritten, you know, they don't have it like stamped in the number. It's got the little beautiful script, and their numbers are beautiful and their words are beautiful. So if you would use that type of script in your decor somehow. So this could be infused with a DIY project or something that you bought and then brought into your home. So as I was just doing the math with my husband there, I had been a subscriber to this magazine for over 25 years, and I pretty much cannot tire of it. I look forward to it coming in the mail, and it's Victoria, and even though it's not French-inspired per se, it does cross over between those styles of that European, that French, that English, just the elements that we're talking about today in what makes a French-inspired home. And I get a lot of my inspiration out of here, and so I hope that it helps you if you're looking to do your home decor and your home improvement projects to make it more of a French-inspired look. So let's talk first about the natural element. In the recent renovation that we did to this home, this is a Victorian home. It's 1900s is when it was built, and while we wanted to modernize it, we absolutely wanted to keep in tune with its, we didn't want to make it like modern. We wanted it to make it modern design. We wanted to modernize it, but yet we still wanted to keep the flair of its Victorian roots, but bringing in some French inspiration as well. So one of the natural elements that we chose to do was to expose the brick fire chimney, the fireplace fire chimney. And so when we knocked out the walls in the bathroom and in the kitchen, and I'll show you those pictures, we discovered this beautiful brick that ran the whole length of the 4 stories of our home. So we undertook one of the biggest projects, I think, of the entire renovation, and that was not just to strip it down of the drywall so that we could expose the brick on all 4 sides of it, so that no matter where you were looking at it, you were going to get a view of this beautiful brick. But we discovered, since it was 120 years old, that all of the mortar in between it had crumbled. And so my husband took his handy old drill with a wire bristle brush, and he went just, maybe I don't know, a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch in, maybe an inch. And I really don't know. I'd have to actually show you some pictures of what he did, and I'll show you some videos. But he went through, and with every single line of where the brick was, he took out the crumbling mortar. And then, like a cake decorator, we used pastry bags full of cement and mortar, and we went back in and we repitched the entire brick of both in the bathroom and in the kitchen. Now, what we could have done was seal it off and make it shiny by using some type of sealer on the brick, but we loved the imperfection of the brick, that you could still see some portions of the old drywall on there. So we left it as is. But when it comes to doing a French-inspired home and having a natural element, whether that's brick like we chose to do, or you could have done exposed beams, exposed wood, you could have done using, I would even say our concrete countertops kind of play into that natural element. So, the French are just so amazingly gifted at using the natural elements to kind of highlight or add elegance to the home while still keeping it on the down low. So that was our #1 thing, by using natural elements. So the second element that we're going to talk about are muted colors. Now, when it comes to redoing your home decor and doing your home improvements, whether it's gutting your kitchen or just doing a bedroom, if you want the whole house to be cohesive, you can go out and get a color palette of 3 or 4 colors that are all in that muted tone. And you can even contrasting tones. We used an orange, but it was muted, and we used a blue, a imperial blue, and then we used some grays, but they were all of a muted. We didn't use like stark red. So when it comes to doing the muted colors, choose what muted colors you're going to do, your color palette, and then you can kind of play with those colors in your walls by painting those, or if you're going to do your tapestries on your wall or your window drapings, or you could even talk about, I'll give you a picture of your backboard of your bed. All of those things can play into the muted colors of a French-inspired home. Piggybacking on the muted colors, it's infusing those into the fabrics that you choose to do, from your couches to your chairs to your pillows to your drapery to anything else that's going to have a fabric component in your home, your living room couch, whatever that is. But using that muted color and infusing it into the fabrics that you choose, and knowing when you're going to do a home improvement project that if you're going to chop this up in a budget-friendly way where you're not going to do the whole house all at once, then at least keep swatches of those colors, whether it's the fabrics that you're using or the color palette that you're using, whether it's Benjamin Moore or Sherwin-Williams or whatever paint line that you're doing. But keep those swatches so that you can continually go back and forth with your comparisons. Nobody wants to do one room and then realize that, whoops, for the rest of the house, we're going to do other color tones. So keep that in mind when you're picking your, again, the muted colors and the fabrics that are going to go along with that. So, extravagant lighting. Now, what does this mean? I know for me, it means an element of like crystals or chandelier elements. And I have them everywhere. I have a little chandelier here that I got at IKEA that was $30. Or you can go to discount stores and people who got rid of their old chandeliers from before, you can come in, and I have spray painted some and put crystals on them, and I've used them in my backyard for exterior decorations as well. But even the pendant lights in my entire house all are an element of this crystal. And I love them because I think that first, you want light. You want your house to, if you're going to spend all the money that you are on the light fixtures, and sometimes with chandeliers you don't always get the greatest of light like you would a can light or something, but the extravagance of it, the beauty of it is definitely a definer if you're going to go with French inspired. So if you ever get the chance to go to France, whether it's in the countryside, whether it's on the coastal portion of the bottom half, or whether it's in the city, you'll notice that they have this beautiful way of infusing gold elements or gold touching. And as a theater girl, we used to do gold leafing on different surfaces to kind of make it seem more exaggerated or more beautiful on stage. You only had to do a wee little bit to give that ambiance to the set piece that you were doing. I have found that I use this all the time. It's metallic copper, and there's also metallic gold that I use, but it is a great way to add a little touch of that extravagance that we were talking about within the lamps. But you can put this anywhere. You can put this as a stencil of a fleur-de-lis on a frame, and then all of a sudden you've kind of defined the spaces. It is French, ooh la la. Or you can use it on, again, a bigger surface. You can do it on tables, you can do it on the walls, you can do it on the edges of the trim that you might do like this. So there are many different areas where you can throw in some gold accents that really up the level of sophistication and elegance with just a very simple addition of some gold. So if you've been to the Smithsonian or the Vatican, there is a section of the museums that have tapestries hanging on the wall. They're huge and they're massive, and they're very poetic because they tell scenes and different stories within each one of the tapestries. These were, from my understanding, twofold. They used them, one, to cut down on the noise of the castles as you were clippity-clop, and the echoing, so acoustics, and also to add a little bit of warmth, or to, I don't think they actually warmed up the place, but you know what I'm saying, it's like insulation. So I am not a fan of tapestries because I don't have a wall that big that I can cover up with a big old scene, but I have seen in French-inspired homes where they would frame these beautiful needleworks or these extravagant scenes that they would have, and they put them in the frames and then hang those up. So if that is an element of French-inspired that you would like for your home, why not add it with a tapestry? So when it comes to adding home improvements that tie in that French-inspired using script, you can often find a script that you can frame that would be very European looking. And honestly, if you went to Font Squirrel or some of the font websites online, you can often get a free version, or if you were going to use this over and over again, say in a business, or you can pay a little bit in order to be able to use that again for other projects that you were going to do. But for a French-inspired script, sometimes just stenciling it onto a table or the wall or some canvas, or I'm trying to think of other places that I've used script in our home. On our dining room table, we have French script, and it just kisses it slightly in order to inspire it in that French feel without having to say, like, this is French writing. So that's something that you can add to a home decor piece. So one of my last things I want to talk about in this video is adding symbols to your home decor or your home improvement projects. And that can be as simple as having some fabric that may have the Eiffel Tower on it, or my clock is actually embedded in the Eiffel Tower over there. So, and my seating, I thought you'd like to see this. It uses the French script and Paris and keys and a lot of the ornamentation on the fabric. So there are several things that you can do in order to add a symbol into your home decor in order to give it that French-inspired look. So I hope the 9 elements that we talked about, I'm going to run down real quick. The natural elements, the use of muted colors, having fabric, having extravagant lighting, having touches of gold, using tapestry, using script, and bringing symbols into the home. Adding all of those things, one or all of them, to any home improvement project in your home. You can also do all of these on a budget. You do not have to spend a ton of money, but to get some French inspiration into your home is, to me, I don't know, it's exciting. So I hope that you've enjoyed some of the ideas that we gave you, and I look forward to hearing what French-inspired creations you were able to do this week. So until then, we'll talk to you later. The next step is to get your free ultimate home improvement guide. This guide is amazing for anybody who's going to be doing a kitchen renovation or a home renovation, because it's going to first help you plan that renovation. 2, it's going to help you budget the different items that you're going to have to purchase in order to get the renovation done. And 3, we chock full of tips and tricks that are going to help you save time or save money or both as you go through our guide. So again, make sure you get your free ultimate home improvement guide, and you can get that in the description below. There's a link.